just so you can see it, these are the Pacific Rim alternatives. This is their red version. Probably someplace in here I've got the black one as well, but no need to dwell on that particular case for now because there's so many others to go through. We also have cases here from Body Glove. Body Glove, to the best of our knowledge, has also not had a chance yet to measure with the iPhone. As a result, you see odd things on the bottom, like some of their cases have holes in certain places for the speaker and the microphone. The holes might not be as big as one might hope. The dock connector holes in the center here may or may not fit. Same thing with the top. They're covering up the proximity sensor up here, so that may wind up being an issue. But the people at Fellows who make the Body Glove cases will most likely fix these sorts of things before the cases get actually released. This one right here, this is the one on the left, is called the Zigzag case. It's called that because it has this sort of unique Velcro thing with a zigzag sort of deal going on the back. They claim this is going to be one of the tightest cases on the market for the iPhone when they finish it. So it's pretty close right now. This other one here has a ability to have a pop-out stand that's hidden here in the back, and we don't have all the pieces to it right here, but it will also be somewhat similar to the way that the Zigzag case works, but maybe not quite as tight. So it's a nice design. We'll just have to see how they finish it up. Over here, we have another one of the leather cases. This is a leather holster style case from Griffin. They call it an Elan holster, I believe. This case has a ratcheting belt clip on the back. Nothing special about the belt clip, doesn't get used as a stand, but they have put holes on the bottom here for the speaker and for the microphone and also for the dock connector. And they've left the whole top of it basically open. It's one of these cases that they're able to easily release for the iPhone without really doing any sort of great measurements. But you know, it doesn't really provide a tremendous amount of protection for the iPhone. It's just it's mostly there just to sort of hold the iPhone on your belt. These come with these gray microfiber cleaning cloths if you want to clean off your iPhone screen, which may be an issue if you sweat a lot or if you're going to be using it very actively as a phone. We also have other items here that may be of interest to you. We've seen a number of cables from Griffin and from Monster Cable and others. This one right here, there's actually two cables here in front of me. This is a set of two different cables from Monster Cable. Monster has previously in the past released all sorts of cables for iPods. The major difference with these cables, one of them is around 6 feet long, the other one's around 3 feet long. These cables have headphone plugs that are made to fit into the iPhone. So if you want to connect your iPhone to a stereo system, this would be a relatively easy way to do it. It has mini jacks on both sides and it is cut to properly fit the iPhone. There's also this other version that's over here that is much shorter, as you can see. This one's only like 3 feet long, give or take, and it fits the iPhone if you don't really need the extra length of cable, and it's going to be a bit cheaper. The cables sell for on the order of $15 to $20 a piece, depending on how long you need them to be. We also have this right here, which is a more professional grade stereo cable from Monster. This is one of the ones that has RCA plugs on one side so that you're able to plug it into stereo systems that have RCA style plugs. It also has the iPhone ready mini jack connector here on the other end. The other major thing about this cable is that it has a fabric jacket, which is pretty cool. I mean, it just sort of looks a little bit nicer than some of the other cases that we've seen. It doesn't really do too much, you know, different from the other cables out there, unless you're really subjecting it to a lot of strain. If you want to pull on this cable, you might find it a little bit more resilient than some of the cheaper plastic ones out there. We also have from Belkin. Belkin has developed very similar cables of its own. They have here a case that has a sturdy rubber jacket and metal parts, nickel and also chrome sort of plating that are really very nice looking. These are the RCA cables at one end. The other end, again, has an iPhone-specific connector. Belkin's cables tend to be very resilient, despite the fact they don't have those fabric jackets. And this one right here is, again, one of the 6-foot length versions versus the 3-foot ones that you saw in the previous Monster cable. Belkin also has made a simple version of the same mini to mini connector. Same sort of deal as what you saw before, around 6 feet of cable here, give or take, and enables you to plug the iPhone into a stereo system that has a mini jack connector. one thing that we should mention about cables and things that are going to be coming out for the iPhone, some things that are out there right now, some of the most recent accessories that we've been looking at are claiming to be iPhone compatible, but may or may not be. We haven't had a chance to test some of these things ourselves yet, but we're under the impression that some of the features of products like this one, which is the SendStation Pocket Dock AV, which is a really very capable new dock thing for the iPod. You plug an iPod into the bottom, and once the iPod's plugged in, you have access to video, audio, and also USB. So with this one cable and these connectors here at the other end of it, you're able to actually make an iPod, connect to a computer or a power source, any sort of standard audio thing with the audio cables, video, either composite video or S-video here with the two cables that have been included. Done a very nice job on making this for the iPod, but they've also claimed that it's going to work with the iPhone. The only thing is that we've heard so far that the iPhone won't necessarily even work with a device like this. There may not even be video output from the bottom of the iPhone, at least in the early going. So as a consequence, you might get this and think that all the things are going to work. You may think that charging is going to work at the same time as audio, and some of those things, actually will probably not be working at all. So some of the things that will say that they are designed for the iPhone may or may not be. This is a cable that is sort of on the edge right now, and we're trying to figure out, how it's going to work. We'll know more, and we'll have more on the iLounge.com website at the point at which they've actually released that the iPhone to us for testing. The other items that we have here, some of the other things you might find interesting. These are headphones, believe it or not. LTech Lansing has released headphones that. Here's a set of replacement earbuds. They're sort of funky looking. They have these big blue tips on the edge, and they go into your ears like any pair of earbuds you could imagine. There's also this other pair here. These are called Upgrader Series earphones. This pair has clips that go on to the outsides of your ears. And also these pieces resized to fit inside your ears so that the bud goes on the inside and this part clips on the outside. Just as with the other cables that we've seen, these have iPhone capable headphone connectors, specially made to fit the iPhone. They also have inline volume controls and fabric cabling. The one weird thing about these particular headphones, even though they're supposed to be ready for the iPhone, in terms of fitting the iPhone, they are not capable of actually being used like the iPhone's own included microphone, own included headset rather, with a microphone. So as a result, you won't be able to actually talk to people and interrupt your music or your videos with phone calls like you would with the Apple included set. These happen to fit the iPhone, but they're not really made for the iPhone in terms of microphone use. Apparently LTech is going to be selling alternate versions of these that do have microphones built in, but we haven't had a chance to see those yet. So at the moment it's sort of like it's a big question mark as to whether people will want to buy headphones that are microphoneless for the iPhone.